In university classrooms across Nepal, thousands of wooden desks sit in near total silence, gathering dust in the afternoon sun. This chart captures the enrollment crisis at Tribhuvan University, where seat vacancy rates have reached 50% across humanities and science programs. Nepal isn't running out of students. The youth are simply vanishing from the domestic institutions that were built to educate them. This mass departure from the local classroom has created the largest, most aggressive export of human capital in the nation's modern history. The financial cost of this exodus is staggering. This data from Nepal Rastra Bank confirms a capital flight crossing the billion-dollar threshold. That represents 115 billion rupees in foreign exchange leaving the country annually, strictly for overseas tuition and living costs. This volume of capital flight effectively positions student visas as a primary economic export pipeline, rivaling the nation's physical trade sectors. The human scale is just as immense, with over 112,000 students obtaining No Objection Certificates every single year. Leaving has become a multi-billion rupee industrial machine that is actively draining the country's central financial reserves. The destination chart shows exactly where that capital is landing. Japan leads the list with over 34,000 approved applications. The remaining capital is concentrated in a second tier of primary markets: Canada, Australia, the UK, and the United States. To sustain this pipeline, city hubs like Baghbazar have filled with language centers, specialized loan offices, and consultancy hubs that facilitate the departure. This vast domestic infrastructure exists to package and export Nepalese youth and their bank balances to foreign economies as efficiently as possible. The sheer volume of capital flight triggered an institutional panic within the national banking system as foreign exchange reserves began to tighten. The response came on April 8, 2026, when the central bank issued a restrictive new circular to manage education payments. The same bank mandate forces students to process all subsequent tuition transfers through the exact bank that handled their initial NOC. This rule establishes a closed loop, allowing the central bank to track remittances and block the unverified transfers that were bleeding the reserves. However, students are making their decisions based on a different set of numbers. A domestic degree involves a 5 lakh rupee investment for an uncertain job market. The central bank has applied a technical banking solution to a problem that originates in the mismatch between local education and career opportunities. Administrative restrictions and banking friction cannot successfully trap human capital if the domestic economy remains stagnant. Meaningful retention requires modernizing university curriculums to match the needs of the tech sector and incentivizing companies to offer paid entry-level internships. If these reforms take hold, today's student outflow could eventually evolve into a brain gain for the country. Returning international alumni could eventually inject foreign expertise, global capital, and advanced technological methodologies back into local startups. This $1 billion outflow serves as clear evidence that Nepal must modernize its domestic opportunities or continue to watch its future fund the growth of other nations.